Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Language and Life Skills. I am Matthew Andukanil. Today we will continue with the second part of higher level of communication skills. Let's take a situation. You are a principal of a school and you are going to meet the education minister. You have a need for meeting him for some permission. You meet the PA and he tells you the minister is busy now. Would you like to wait? How would you understand this message? Would you like to wait? Do you think you have a choice to wait? Or can you press for an immediate interview? Well, when they tell you, would you like to wait? It's another polite way of saying that you have to wait instead of telling you the unpleasant message that you have to wait. Let's take another situation. You are traveling in the train on a very cold day and you are sitting near a window and you have closed it because it is cold. Nearby there is another passenger who is well provided with woolens, a sweater, and his window is open and he is enjoying a ride. You are shivering in the cold. You would like to have that window closed. How would you go about it? If you ask the passenger, if you request him, maybe he will not oblige. So, what could you do? Maybe you will say to no one in particular, I am feeling very cold. I wish someone would close that window. Or perhaps you may say, I am shivering here in the cold because a window is open. Then some kind soul who hears you, who empathizes with you, might get up, go and close that window, and you would be comfortable. What happens to you when a flight is delayed in the airport? You are at the boarding gate ready to board the flight, but there is a delay, and how would they announce the delay? They may say, passengers, your attention please. Flight number 557, say from Mumbai to Dubai, is delayed by 45 minutes. The inconvenience caused to the passenger is highly regretted. This is an impersonal message. Who is regretting the inconvenience? You think it is the airlines? Yeah, maybe, but primarily it is the passengers who are inconvenienced. And most other announcements are similar, made in the passive voice, like trespassers will be prosecuted. Or in the railway station, say train from New Delhi to Ahmedabad, train number 58 is expected within the next 30 minutes. The newspapers and the media, most crime reports will be reported in the passive voice because either the criminal is not known, or it is a sensitive matter, or you have some vested interest in withholding the name of the perpetrator. So, for example, you might read in the newspaper, the Baikula branch of the State Bank of India's safe deposit vault has been breached and gold and ornaments worth 500 crores are missing. Or the hundi of a Hanuman temple in Bosam town has been found broken open and all the cash collection is missing. Or maybe a Christian church has been vandalized in the early hours of the morning and crosses and statues have been broken. Let us now take another situation when you are traveling abroad. You need to understand notices and announcements in countries abroad which may be different from ours. So you need to know the customs and conventions of the place. For example, you might see a notice like this, garage sale. What do you understand when you see a notice, garage sale? Does it mean the garage is on sale or the car inside is on sale? Not so. It is an announcement that things of local produce like vegetables or fruits will be sold there. Or some of the articles made there like toys or other things will be sold there informally. So it means it is an informal or non-formal market, that's all. It is not that the garage is on sale. Once a group of Indian students who were on a visiting program to England, they were having a party with their local counterparts, the other English students. They enjoyed their party, and at the end of the party, the English friends told them, "Meet you soon, goodbye." And the Indian students waited for weeks and months for another party, another invitation, which was not forthcoming. Then only they came to realize that when people tell you, "Meet you soon," it is a polite way of telling you goodbye. It is a ritual. It does not mean that they have any serious intention of meeting you soon. Next important point, the order of words in a sentence is of great importance. If the words are in the wrong order, they may create a comic communication or embarrassing communication, or it may be conveying an absurd meaning. Let us see one or two examples. There was this announcement or notice in a hotel. "In this hotel, we serve ice cream to ladies with nuts." What are they serving? Ice cream to ladies with nuts. It's an offensive notice. It is a slur on the nature of ladies, on the character of ladies. They are nuts. So, actually, they meant no offense, but the wording is comic. The wording is sort of absurd. So, the order of words should be different. "In this hotel, we serve ice cream with nuts to ladies." The nuts go with the ice cream, not with the ladies. Let's come to newspaper ads. There was this following ad for a newspaper. In the newspaper, "Wanted science graduates for selling engineering hardware and female stenographers." What are the science graduates selling? Engineering hardware and also female stenographers. This is highly questionable activity. It is a crime to be trafficking in women. They do not mean that, but that is what is conveyed by the words "wanted science graduates for selling engineering hardware and female stenographers." The order of words should be changed. You can say "wanted female stenographers, also science graduates for selling engineering hardware." Or you could say "wanted science graduates for selling engineering hardware and also female stenographers." See you. Hope you liked this video. If you liked it, please subscribe for my channel. Bye.